Well, we'll keep an eye out for Luke Williams, who will be out in just a moment. But in the meantime, let's go back to Hillsborough and talk a little bit more about Cardiff City's challenge in the third round tonight on Radio Wales and BBC Sounds. Away to Sheffield Wednesday. Jason Perry and Rob Phillips are there. I suppose all the talk at the moment, Jason, is when the multiple FA Cup winner in the Cardiff squad, as recently as 2017, Aaron Ramsey, is going to be back. Do we still not know? Rob, you'd know, you'd have an idea. Is he back in training?
Yeah, he's back on the grass, not necessarily with the squad, I don't think. I believe Callum O'Dowda, who's also been a big miss this season, he is further ahead than Aaron Ramsey. The way the coach Nikolaos Karidas spoke on Thursday, who stood in for Errol Bullitt, as he will on the touchline today, he seemed to think Ramsey was towards the end of January, Callum O'Dowda in the next couple of weeks.
Well, here at the Swansea.com Stadium, it is a new era for the Swans, and here is Luke Williams, the mid-season saviour, they hope, here at the Swans, the new man in charge who replaces Michael Duff in the hot seat, walks out of the tunnel, waves at the crowd in a black coat, black jeans and white trainers as the fans stand up to acknowledge the new man in charge, having seen him here, of course, as part of the Russell Martin era. A little walk onto the field, and then back he goes, back down the tunnel there. Quite a low-key start to Luke Williams' career as the Swansea City manager here in the third round of the FA Cup. They've got Morecambe here tonight. It's coming up in 5 minutes, as is Cardiff's game at Hillsborough. Let's just go back to Rob and Jason. Sorry guys, but you've got to pause when a manager makes his way out for a
I fully understand that, Ian, don't worry about that. I've seen plenty in and out, put it that way, in my time.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know how many managers you'd have seen, Rob, here at the Swans. How many managers you would have seen at Cardiff, but nowhere all Bullitt tonight at Hillsborough.
No, and I can't remember too many Cardiff managers being absent other than when they've been sacked. So it's going to be interesting to see how Nikolaos Karidas does. Very much attached to Errol Bullitt, has followed him around, so we shall see. Big test for him, I'd say, particularly with the side they've picked.
Yeah, how do you fancy it then, Jason? Cardiff got to round 4 2 years ago. You'll remember that Ruben Colwell cracker at Liverpool. Would you expect them to get through?
It's going to be tough. I mean, you've mentioned early on Sheffield Wednesday, if you rightly say, won 3 out of their last 5 league games. So they're the team in form. They've only made 3 changes. It's a real strong team they've put out. But I would expect the Cardiff City players to embrace that. You know, it's a great opportunity, isn't it, to get into that next round, to stick your hand up, as I said, to the manager if he is watching away from the ground, to other people in the stands that may be looking to take 1 or 2 permanent or on loan. So, yeah, there's plenty to play for. And I'm hoping that these two teams go straight at each other, no fear, and go straight out to win the game.
Okay, Sheffield Wednesday against Cardiff City, coming up with Jason and Rob on FM and digital radio in the southeast. On all other frequencies, it will be the Swans here against Morecambe of League Two. Might not be a huge crowd here in Swansea tonight, but they're certainly doing their best to crank up the music and to create the best atmosphere that they can. And 2 lines of youngsters waving Swansea City flags either side of the halfway line, ready to welcome the 2 sets of players. Luke Williams, whose penultimate game in charge of Notts County was a 5-0 thrashing over Morecambe. His first game in charge of the Swans is against the same opposition, and no doubt the fans who are here tonight will be hoping for plenty of goals and for the team to assert their championship status against Morecambe of League Two. Andy Robinson, your prediction, how do you feel this will go with this much changed, all changed Swansea City team? A chance certainly for these players who've hardly had that much action at all, who've been on the fringes, to say straight away, get me in the team of the championship.
Well, it certainly is. It's an opportunity, as it is for even the players on the bench, because I'm sure everyone will play their part today. But again, listen, as I said before the game, you've got to have the same hunger, same hunger you'd have in a championship game. You've got to have this in an FA Cup, because you do not want to be in the end of a surprise today with the squad of players that he's got to pick against the opposition. Just don't want that to happen, and you might have to weather the first 10-15 minutes off Morecambe. He will come at you, but I think once you get into the play, once you get a foothold in the game, I'm sure the quality will come through, and then put them to the sword then.
Well, there's already been 15 FA Cup matches today. Newport County, we know, are in the hat for round 4, but they had to settle for a draw against Eastleigh. 4 more left at 5:30. 2 championship sides hoping for a shock against Premier League opposition as Preston go to Stamford Bridge to face Chelsea and Middlesbrough host Aston Villa. And our 2 live games here on BBC Radio Wales as the Luke Williams era is about to begin. Out come the Swans all in white, and Morecambe in red shirts and white shorts. And it is time for our 2 5:30 kickoffs. Sheffield Wednesday against Cardiff City is on FM and digital radio in the South East and on the BBC Sport website. There'll be regular updates in our rolling service. It is Swansea City against Morecambe with Luke Williams at the helm on all other frequencies, including BBC Sounds. It's coming up to 5:30 on FA Cup Day on Radio Wales, and it's game time.
Live football on BBC Radio Wales Sport.
It's absolutely extraordinary!
Cardiff.
Oh, what a goal! Pick that one out!
Swansea.
That's the icing on the cake!
Newport.
Absolutely brilliant!
Wrexham.
Are you not entertained?
Your team for Welsh sport.
This is BBC Radio Wales Sport.
Yes, good evening everyone. Welcome to the Swansea.com stadium, where on FA Cup third round weekend there's always an anticipation, one of the most eagerly anticipated dates in the calendar. But this time there's an extra little boost for the Swansea fans making their way up the gangways and the steps at this crisp night in South Wales. The first game of a new era, the first game under Luke Williams. There he is down there in the black coat, black trousers, white trainers. He's been out for a good 5-10 minutes now after being introduced to the supporters. It's not packed, but quite a sizable crowd than perhaps you would normally expect for an early FA Cup tie. 49 places between the two sides. A block and a half behind the goal to our left-hand side have made the long journey from Lancaster, and it is the visitors who are going to start the game. League 2 strugglers Morecambe chasing an upset in what is the first ever competitive meeting between these two sides. It's the visitors in the red shirts, white shorts and red socks that get us underway, go straight back to their goalkeeper. What do we expect from Swansea under Luke Williams in what is a much changed team, a whole new 11? So much intrigue, Andy Robinson, as Swansea win an early throw in the opening 20 seconds on this near left.
Yeah, and we certainly actually don't know what to expect in terms of the amount of changes. Obviously a full 11 change for this evening's clash. It's going to be a difficult one to judge, but what we do know is people are being given opportunities to stake a claim for what will be his big game next week against Birmingham for the lads.
Swansea coming forward. I'll give you the teams in full in just a moment. Here's Patino on the halfway line, and in fact I'll give you the teams now as Swansea go backwards. So Andy Fisher is in goal. Azim Abdullahi will indeed play at right back. Norton and Wood are the centre halves with Pedersen on the left. Allen and Cooper in midfield. Sam Parker, Charlie Patino, Yannick Bolasie in front of him. Jerry Yates will lead the line up front. Swansea all in white, the shirts with this grey and black pattern on the sleeves. And they're kicking towards the small band of away supporters in this first half. This 5:30 kickoff here on BBC Radio Wales. We're also on the BBC Sounds app, so if you download that to your smartphone or tablet, you can take us out and about whatever you're doing this evening. Morecambe throw. The visitors have Adam Smith in goal. It's a back three of Rawson, Stokes and Beddoe. 5-man midfield is Senior, Songo, Threckald, Taylor and Chutonda. Jordan Slew and Charlie Brown are the front two, and on the bench for Morecambe. The former Swansea trainee Gwion Edwards, who signed this week, he could make his debut. Here's Abdullahi for Swansea in the Morecambe half. 2 minutes gone, 0-0. And Allen, who is captain in Swansea, starts for the first time since the League Cup in August. Finds Patino, as expected. Nearly every Morecambe outfield player behind the ball in the early going. And in fact, we can go to Hillsborough. There's been an early goal between Sheffield Wednesday and Cardiff City. Rob Phillips.
It's Sheffield Wednesday 1, Cardiff City 0. Josh Windass from 35 yards, but immediately Cardiff have the chance to respond because they have a penalty. It was Andy Rinamoto's run into the penalty area which caused it, and Cardiff have the chance to level. Referee Thomas Kirk playing a big part already in this game. Can they level now? It's hit right footed, goalkeeper saves. It was an awful penalty, really. It was Ryan Wintle who took it. He holds his head in his hands, and it's still 1-0 to Sheffield Wednesday.
Wow, drama already at Hillsborough. Thank you, Rob. Commentary continues on FM and DAB in the southeast. You can also listen online by the BBC Sport Wales website. Parker for Swansea has just overrun that and allows the League Two side to clear 49 places between these two in the ladder. This will not feature highly on Match of the Day tonight if Swansea win. In comes the cross, and that'll go past everyone. It's a goal kick.
It's a nice idea from the young lad on the right wing, Parker, though. He starts to just put that straight in. Delivery into the box again. That's what Jerry Yates has been missing this season. He got saved when he was at Blackpool. That's what he used to live off. Crosses into the box, getting on the end of him. Instantly the young lad just opens his body up, puts a ball into the box and get on the end of it. But I think you see the pattern of the play already starting in terms of Morecambe. They're just happy for Swansea to have the ball, and certainly when it goes into the area of the pitch, they're trying to put a little bit more pressure on the person who's going to be putting the ball into the box.
And Morecambe have never made it to round 4. Only the 5th time they've made the 3rd round. And this stage of the competition, Swansea have been eliminated in 3 times in the last 4 years. Andy and I saw that replay against Bristol City last year, Southampton the year before. What can this much changed team do? And here's Wood powering over the halfway line for the Swans. Over on the far right, that's the opposite side to us here at the Swansea.com stadium. All the supporters in the stand running along the sideline across from us and in and around us. Nothing behind the goal but empty black and white seats to our right. And as I mentioned, that small band of Morecambe supporters in the upper section covering a block and a bit, and there's a few flags draped over the lower tier seats as well.
Certainly good numbers they brought up though for an FA Cup, a 5:30 kick-off. Certainly is, and hoping to pull off a shock.
Now this one of 4 ties currently playing. You can watch Middlesbrough against Aston Villa on BBC One Wales now, and the highlights show tonight 10:30 on BBC One Wales. Swansea shoot, and they've hit the side netting. Massive deflection. Abdullahi, I think it was from distance. Some of the ground thought it was in as it hit the side netting. That black and white goal netting rippled, and Swansea take the corner quickly. Pinged off the head of one of the defenders. They've gone short with it and gone back to Wood on the halfway line. Everyone in white has stayed forward. Abdullahi with a heavy touch, and Morecambe pick it up, and they'll try and counter here over the halfway line before Wood stops them in their tracks. Andy Robinson.
And I did just see in a counter attack from Morecambe there. In a championship game they will attack with more quality, more pace, more power. Morecambe just haven't got that, and I think Swansea can sit off a little bit and just maybe soak it up in terms of Morecambe when they're doing that. And probably take a few more risks in terms of the centre halves coming out. We've seen Nathan Wood travelling with the ball before. They can do that in a game like this.
And Morecambe over the halfway line. Senior crossing, but Swansea I think have just dealt with it. Norton steps in. Another penalty at Hillsborough. Rob Phillips.
It's another Cardiff penalty, this time won by Atete. Callum Robinson takes it. Dawson has saved again. Another dreadful spot kick. How many times can Cardiff waste opportunities? Cameron Dawson, 2 penalty saves. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Cardiff City 0.
Remarkable. Commentary continues on FM and DAB in the southeast and online via the BBC Sport Wales website. That sounds like the place to be at the moment.
It's certainly better than here, isn't it, at the moment, boys?
Very little has happened in the opening 7 minutes under a completely clear dark sky. First of these crisp evenings that we've got ahead of us according to the forecast. And Luke Williams' first game in charge of Swansea has not given us much indication of what the future might hold. Just 8 days ago, his team, Notts County, beat Morecambe 5-0. I think they're a couple of goals up by now. They were 4-0 up at half time.
You know what the fans are like in games, and when you see results like that, we say, I'll tell you what, Notts County beat them 5-0. How come Swansea had 0-0 still in this football game? How come they haven't got 2 or 3?
It, haven't we, as
the
supporters?
Championship club. I'm afraid it doesn't work like that.
It's FA Cup third round. Strange things happen, and we've already seen that today with Maidstone of the National League North through to the 4th round for the first time in their history. Watford needed a stoppage time goal to beat National League leaders Chesterfield 2-1. And already today, for BBC Radio Wales listeners, Newport County held 1-1 by 10-man Eastleigh. That'll be a replay the week after next on the south coast. Swansea have it midway in the Morecambe half. Out to Abdullah, he will shoot again. That one scuffed, nowhere near as much purpose as the one that was deflected. It's cleared, but back to Abdullah. He's lost it again, midway inside his own half. And Slew will take it up to the halfway line, surrounded by white shirts. He wanted the foul, and Swansea oblige. It's an easy decision for the referee in blue, Tom Neild.
Abdullah again, he's just a little taking that extra touch, isn't he, again? One of his first starts for the football club. Just going to calm himself down and get a little bit too excited. The first one I can understood in terms of his shot, took a big deflection, but the second one it was really ambitious, and when he got caught in possession of the football, when you first come into the first team, just build yourself up into the game, take a few touches.
They've got to the byline here, have Morecambe, and they've got themselves a corner. We've played 9.5 minutes on BBC Radio Wales. It's chilly, we can see the players' breaths as they run about the pitch, and Morecambe might be giving Luke Williams' side something to think about with this corner from the far left.
And this is what they would have been working on most of the week, through the week, in terms of if we get a set piece, it might be our only opportunity to get a goal against Swansea.
Plenty forward, in swinger, and it's a free touch, a scramble, and Swansea get it away. It was Chris Stokes at the near post, probably a better chance than he thought it was, and Swansea get it out for a throw.
I don't think he thought he had that much time. It was an easy volley for him on his left side, wasn't it, for Stokes? He just lacked the conviction.
Now Patino is fouled meanwhile in midfield, the Arsenal loanee, and Swansea get a free kick, danger averted. That was a good chance for Chris Stokes. He's only started 3 games this season, the 32-year-old. I say it's a back 3 for Morecambe. It looks more like a back 5 when Swansea have got the ball. They're going to try and frustrate their championship opponents. Swansea undoubtedly the favourites for this one, but no sign of any goals. 10.5 minutes on the watch here on BBC Radio Wales. We're on all frequencies apart from FM and DAB in the southeast, where it's Sheffield Wednesday 1, Cardiff 0. We're also on 882 on medium wave digital television, and on the BBC Sounds app. If you download that to your smartphone or tablet, you can take us with you, and there's so much content on there to listen to at your leisure. The Ellis James Feast of Football, you can take in last night's Radio Wales Sport.
They've done it again. Give the ball away too easy. He needs to settle himself down, the young lad.
Here's Pedersen for Swansea, clipping it into the penalty area. Easily headed away though by Morecambe. Back out to Abdullah, edge of the box on the far right. Allen in field, as they expect him to be, and they drift now to the left to Balassi, who has played in an FA Cup final. Yannick Balassi. And now Norton. Finds Cooper in a bit of space on the edge of the box, but they come back out to Balassi in the short sleeves and gloves. Whips in a dangerous ball, headed over his own crossbar by the Morecambe defender for a Swansea City corner. It's 0-0.
Actually good from Rawson. He picked up a really good position there, because that ball had pace in from Balassi, and Yates was just lingering, wasn't he, just behind him. He's got a full head on it.
It's taken short again over on that far right. Wood, it's awful, but sliced by a couple of the defenders. Eventually they get it away through the referee's legs. Norton picks it up. Balassi will try some trickery and gets nowhere. Goes back in field. And Swansea huffing and puffing at the moment. But this is the style of play that the fans want to see, and this is the style of play that Luke Williams will definitely provide them with. At Notts County, his team always take short corners. And there's a clip on YouTube of him talking at a fans forum, giving a really detailed answer as to why he does that. It's well worth watching if you're a Swansea fan, if you search it out.
Have they scored many goals off it?
I haven't got the numbers to hand, but clearly they must do, because he always does it. And Notts County have scored a hatful of goals both last season in that titanic promotion race with Wrexham, and this season when they find themselves 5th in League Two. Here's Patino for Swansea on the chest, crossing into the penalty area, headed away only as far as Allen, who has to spin, go out to Abdullahi, lets it run through his legs. Parker is there, the two trainees combining over on the far side. Cooper having to turn into midfield, but everyone apart from Slew is behind the ball. There is just no way through that red wall at the moment for Swansea City.
Sometimes it's just not the passing game that it needs someone to take someone out the game.
He's headed across goal. This is a chance, and it's onto the crossbar. Patino with a free header, and it's actually a fine save from Adam Smith. Fingertips from the Morecambe goalkeeper. Swansea corner.
It come from a poor cross, and Balassi just put it back into a good area, hasn't he? And Patino, it's actually bounced the ball, and as it's bounced, he's got himself underneath it and tried to put it into the top corner off his head, and it's a great save from the keeper. Right-handed save to the right hand of his goal. Fantastic save.
Really good chance, the clearest of the game so far in the opening 15 minutes. 0-0. Patino, having won the corner, will take it. Outswinger, the yellow ball is spinning, headed away by Morecambe, collected by Wood. Balassi just in the corner of the box on this side, twisting and turning. Patino on the left with a chance to cross, stands it up high towards that back post, flicked back by Yates, kept alive by Swansea. Cooper, Allen edge of the box now into Yates, into Cooper, goes down. Referee says absolutely not, and Morecambe and their goalkeeper will just dribble the ball and eke out a few seconds. It's 0-0 on BBC Radio Wales.
It was a good build up from Swansea in terms of Joe Allen picking a ball up again on the edge of the box, and everything was one touch from Yates into Cooper, who then's gone down. It's definitely not a penalty, but that's the tempo you need. You need to, well, you can move the ball left to right, you need that tempo well through the middle. Yates needs to be a little bit more sharper for me in them areas of the football pitch, and make himself more available as well.
It's 0-0. Here is Senior for Morecambe.
What you have seen with Swansea already in this opening 15 minutes of the game is the amount of crosses they put in the box. There's a purpose, isn't it? They're getting into areas of the football pitch where potentially they can hurt them, and in the first 15 minutes they're putting balls into the box. They've nearly got a couple of goals from it.
Balassi was well shackled, but Cooper comes out with the ball. Big dollop of mud on the back of his shorts. Ollie Cooper, who scored Swansea's last FA Cup goal in that replay at this stage against Bristol City last year. They eventually lost in extra time. Some of the Swansea substitutes come out to warm up. There's some young lads on the bench. I'll run you through those names in a moment. Swansea attacking. They've had all of the possession, but it's walking pace at the moment. Morecambe sitting all 11 players behind the ball, and Swansea at the moment have not been able to break them down with this completely new 11. If you're just tuning into us on BBC Radio Wales, 11 changes in the Swansea team for Luke Williams' first game, and he's cutting a very animated figure down there on the touchline, isn't he, Andy?
It's the tempo of the play. What happens when Morecambe aren't pressing and it becomes a slow tempo, as you just said? The players have got to speed that tempo. They've got to see the positions and the mannerisms of the opposition, where they are. Are they pressing? No, well, I'll move the balls 2 or 3 yards more advanced and then I'll go and beat someone.
It's into Yates' chest on the edge of the box, flicked away by the red shirts of Morecambe. Abdullahi collects. It's all Swansea, but it's all in the middle third of the pitch, which is where Morecambe and Jed Brannan will want to keep them.
You can actually hear Williams saying then to Kyle Norton, advance yourself, go forward.
Patino to Balassi on the left, curling cross, Yates arriving, it's hit the side netting and it's behind for a goal kick. It was actually Parker, in fact, arriving at the back post, but it was well marshalled by Morecambe. And if you are Jed Brannan, you'll be delighted with how the opening 17 and a half minutes has gone.
He certainly will. I don't think they've had to weather as much as he probably thought he would have in this opening 17 minutes of the football game. Swansea tempoed the play in terms of when the back four for Swansea just got to move the ball a little bit quicker, move them about, and then try and get your Coopers and your Patinos in area of the pitch where, obviously I like to say, the pockets where they can hurt teams. At the moment they are living off crosses into the box, which, listen, will work in certain games, but against a rigid back five they'll probably be happy Morecambe to be dealing with that. That's what they brother worked on all week in training.
He's angrily pointing and waving his arms down there, Luke Williams. How much can you do in one training session?
Was it his doing this game? That's the question I would ask, Mark. You know,
that is an interesting one, isn't it? As Morecambe have a throw on the halfway line,
and that's why I say it's a gamble in terms of what's been put out there today in terms of the 11, complete change of squad, team. It's a risk. It certainly is.
A long ball forward looking for Brown for Morecambe, but Pedersen is there away. Appointed late afternoon, met the press for the first time at tea time yesterday, Luke Williams. Salford, by comparison, appointed Carl Robinson. He doesn't take charge until Monday. Salford today, incidentally, drew 2-2 with Forest Green, a real battle at the bottom of League Two. I think Newport County fans listening on their way home after their 1-1 FA Cup draw with Eastleigh. The other League Two scores today: Swindon and Colchester 2-2. Crewe won 1-0 at Mansfield. Crawley won 4-2 at Bradford. Barrow 1, Tranmere 0. Harrogate 3, Doncaster 1. Story of FA Cup third round day so far: Maidstone 1, Stevenage 0. The National League North side through to Monday's fourth round draw for the first time in their history. And that's a good ball by Pedersen. Morecambe are able to slice it behind for another Swansea corner.
He's certainly going to be entertained with Williams on the touchline. He's kicking every ball. You've seen that under Michael Duff's time at the football club.
Did Michael Duff ever take his hand out of his pockets when he was watching it? The corner is taken short, of course. Patino to Balassi. Balassi curls it and it's into the arms of the goalkeeper. How much input has he had? They're taking every corner short, so he's had some impact, hasn't he?
And stated where you are, listen, Swansea putting balls into the box a lot quicker than what they have in recent weeks. Whether he's had an input on that, it needs to be seen if Swansea can score off it or get a goal off it. And you see the full impact.
Well, as the saying goes, Rome wasn't built in a day. And as Brian Clough said, I wasn't on that particular job.
It depends on what job you call him about with Cloughy, what he done. Are we talking about the Leeds job? Because that never went well, did it?
Well, that's the thing. He never won the FA Cup, Brian Clough. Incredible. He won everything else. Lost in the 91 final. 0-0. And not much in the way of excitement in the opening 21 minutes. It's still Sheffield Wednesday 1, Cardiff City 0. Cardiff have missed 2 penalties, all in the opening 6 minutes, all that action. The commentary of that one is on FM and DAB in the South East, or you can listen online via the BBC Sport Wales website. And don't forget, you can watch all the highlights of every FA Cup game tonight on Match the Day at 10:30, or tomorrow from 7:30. And speaking of tomorrow, 2 o'clock online on the BBC Sport Wales website, Shrewsbury against Wrexham. 4 o'clock, it's Arsenal-Liverpool live on BBC One Wales. A chance for Morecambe to break. and they've run straight into Kyle Norton, although the Morecambe fans are saying Jake Taylor was fouled.
He was looking for it.
Referee having none of it. And Luke Williams continues to pace around.
It's here for me for Swansea. It's 21 minutes of the game and not one of the players has had a shot on target.
Well, I can give you the stats now, in fact. 72% possession, 1 shot on goal.
On goal? I thought the deflection was that?
Bettino's header, I can only assume.
So, yeah.
But that's the only time they've come close to scoring, isn't it, Andy?
In terms of the possession, they're going to have that possession against the opposition they are. It's just the use of the ball.
There's Cooper to Bettino, edge of the box, more dangerous areas, but there's so many red shirts in the way. They come wide to Balassi. Maybe his creativity can open it up. That cross isn't from Bettino. Sails comfortably into the arms of Adam Smith in goal.
Just laboured from Swansea in terms of the approach at the moment. Again, Bettino could have done that himself in his first instance. He's played the ball to Balassi. You should actually just give him it back. Just do it yourself. Make something happen. Create yourself. Didn't need to make that pass. And this is where Swansea are getting it wrong at the moment. Again, go and open the game up if you're Bettino in that position on the edge of the box. Can you get the shot on goal? It'll be difficult to move this Morecambe back 5 about.
Abdullah is herring forward. It's a good run, and it might break for Bettino here in the box, and Morecambe have dealt with it well. Players have hit the deck, no foul given. Now that one definitely is a foul, shoved in the back from Charlie Brown. Just not happening at the moment for Swansea, and Luke Williams, well, he doesn't half know it as he paces and bounces around that technical area down there.
He definitely gets his steps in, doesn't he?
I might give him my watch at half time.
I used to put it on the dog. The heart-made monarchies used to get into the start of the season. Pick the dog off for the run. I'll give that back to Kenny Jackets.
Dog on the treadmill.
If Kenny's listening, apologise, Ken. Awareness fits as your first thought.
It's just a hunch, but I think he might have known, Andy. It's 0-0. Which is why we're talking about Andy Robinson's memories of his playing career at Swansea. I have to mention that FA Cup upset against Preston at the Vetch. That was a great occasion. This one hasn't quite caught the imagination yet. 24 minutes gone. The League Two side frustrating the Championship outfit 49 places above them in the league ladder. And the red shirts have it of the Shrimps, and Senior is felled by Pedersen right on this near touchline midway in the Swansea half. It's a set piece, which is what Morecambe will want. The centre halves coming forward.
This is a great opportunity in terms of where it is on the right hand side of the pitch. 30 yards, 35 yards away from goal. What you're hoping for is a good delivery, and as I said before the game, I played in these games for lesser teams against bigger clubs, and I promise you now, you would have been working on this type of ball, these type of scenarios in a football game. And then I haven't said that he plays it short.
Senior takes it short. It's floated into the box. It's beyond everyone. That was absolutely dreadful. That rather sums up the game as an occasion so far. 25 minutes gone. If you're just joining us, guess what the scoreline is? Yes, you were right. It's 0-0.
It's been poor. It really has.
But it's not for Morecambe to come out and make the game an end-to-end thriller. Swansea are the home side. They're the higher ranked side, 2 divisions above them. It's up to them to try and find a way through, and so far they haven't. They might do now with Balassi, but Senior wins the foot race against Yannick Balassi and knocks it out for a Swansea throw, which they are keen to take quickly. They find Bettino on this near left. It's all midway in the Morecambe half. Allen, the captain, back to Bettino, but it's walking pace. So many red shirts, they cannot quite pick the lock. They now go to Abdullah, who has shown a change of pace in a rare start for him.
You're seeing out there, Mark, it is a team that haven't played together. You're seeing a team of individuals who have been given an opportunity. Listen, you normally give opportunities to 3 or 4 players in a game like this. To make 11 changes can be difficult, it really can. And I've been in situations like this myself, and there's no understanding on building relationships, or you know what he's going to do. It's basically put your 11 players on the pitch. You've got more quality, go and win the football game. And as it's materialising at the moment, Swansea aren't doing that.
Yates finds Parker, and that one sails over the bar. If needed, there are some, shall I say, regular starters amongst the Swansea bench. Rushworth, Grimes, Patterson, Kuharevich, Cullen, Tajoun and Humphreys. And then the two teenagers, Kyril Wilson and Philip Lisser, either of which could make their debuts.
I think them substitutions will have up very early in the second half if this carries on in the same manner that it is.
Well, if you make 11 changes and you're 3-0 up in the first 20 minutes, it looks like an absolute masterstroke. And if you're toiling, which Swansea are at the moment, 27 minutes gone, that might change though. Parker's into the box here, and he went the wrong way. He went round the outside. It looked easier to cut inside into where the support was. A few appeals for a penalty, not with much conviction, and Morecambe might be able to break if they can get the ball away, but fouled Jan Songo in midfield. It's a free kick midway in the Morecambe half.
He's taking too many touches down that side of the pitch, Parker. He done well in the first instance, got past his man, and then that extra touch. You have that belief and understanding what you're going to be doing next, and he caught out a couple of occasions. Listen, it happens, he's young. One of his first starts for the football club, FA Cup.
He started at Coventry on December the 29th for his debut.
Just don't take too many touches. Get a feel for the game, build yourself into the game, and as the game goes on, then go and show your quality, if that makes sense.
That's the voice of Andy Robinson, the former Swansea favourite, here on BBC Radio Wales and on the BBC Sounds app. Swansea 0, Morecambe 0 in the FA Cup third round. No magic of the competition in this game yet. No upset, but no quality, no goalmouth incident at the moment. It's still Sheffield Wednesday 1, Cardiff City 0. Cardiff having missed 2 penalties. Live on BBC One Wales right now, it's Middlesbrough at the Championship 0, Aston Villa 0 of the Premier League. And the only other 5:30 kickoff, Chelsea 0, Preston 0 at Stamford Bridge. So far, Maidstone United are going to be the story of National League North, having won earlier in the day against Stevenage. Another Swansea cross sails over the crossbar.
See Luke Williams on the touchline. He's not happy with the quality that's going into the box. You see him come to speak. I think it's Chris O'Leary on the monitor actually today on the touchline, and he's just not happy with what he's seeing. Rightly so. It's been dreadful.
He spent 18 months at Notts County, and he'd be regarded as a bit of a legend there, having got them back into the Football League and leaving them so high up in the 4th tier with the chance of another promotion. Wrexham, of course, will have something to say about that. He's very animated, waving his arms constantly. I don't think he sat down at any point in the opening half an hour. It's 0-0.
You can see what he's waving his hand about. Nathan Wood again just played an easy ball, which your defenders do, to the left back, and then what he's done, he's just stood. And Williams is having a go and saying, push yourself up once you play that ball. Go and condense the space. You've got 11 men behind the ball. Don't just play it and then just, I'll amble in. I can understand what he's asking him to do.
Here's Wood, but everyone, apart from Charlie Brown, the Morecambe striker, is behind the ball, and there's just no way through. That one's come a long way through. In fact, it was missed by the defenders, wasn't been able to collect by Sam Parker at the back post, so it's comfortably behind for a goal kick. The noise and that beat that you might be able to hear in the background is the Morecambe fans behind the goal, just underneath the colour scoreboard to my left hand side, all on their feet, banging their hands together. They have never been to the 4th round. They have never beaten a second tier team in the FA Cup. They've got 9 wins though in the League Cup against Championship sides. Swansea have not lost at home to a 4th tier team since they were one themselves, November 1997 against Peterborough.
And I never played in that game, boys.
I wasn't going to say that.
I know it's been a dreadful half an hour, but please.
Now, if you'd have played, they'd have lost 6-1. It's 0-0, and we're desperate for some excitement, some goalmouth incident. It's been a rather subdued start to the Luke Williams era here on BBC Radio Wales. The action's rather dried up at Hillsborough as well. Still 1-0, still those 2 penalty misses. All happened in the first 6 minutes. You can listen to that one on FM and DAB in the southeast and online via the BBC Sport Wales website. You can also listen to this one online and via the BBC Sounds app. Can Swansea find a way through before half-time, which is 12 and a half minutes away? They've had just the 1 shot on target so far. It's out to Abdullahi on his chest, midway in the Morecambe half on the far right. Cooper, whose white shirt is covered in mud already. He's been in the thick of the action. Norton is midway in Morecambe's half, and every opponent is behind the ball.
It's every pass that gets into that final third goes backwards. Again, it was Patino.
That's a better ball. Yannick Bolasie into Pedersen, and then the cross is really poor. Took too many touches. The chance had gone by the time he whipped the cross, and then he gets nutmegged by the corner flag and concedes a free kick. Not his best couple of moments.
But that's the quality and that's the tempo you want. What Bolasie done with the ball, he just done it first time. It's instinctive. Round the corner into Pedersen, who's in a good position again. He never got a shot off, but that is what's going to be taken to disrupt this Morecambe back line. It just hasn't been sharp enough. The quality hasn't been there from Swansea, but that's certainly what has to happen. Better from Bolasie again. Just pop it round the corner first time and follow your pass. You can afford to take risks against teams like this.
Swansea have won only 3 of their last 8 games. They've only lost 2 as well. Plenty of draws. And Ollie Cooper's going to need a completely new kit. He's on the deck again in the centre circle for a foul, which Swansea take quickly. Pedersen in the orange boots finds Bolasie. You feel Bolasie holds the key with his trickery. Finds Patino, low crosses, stabbed away by Rawson, the bald-headed centre half, out for a throw on this near left to the Swans, level with the edge of the penalty area. 11 minutes left of the first half.
He's done really well, Rawson, in terms of his positions he's picking up, because he has to deal with a lot of balls coming into the box in Swansea this evening, and he's dealt with them really well.
Outside of the boot, pass by Patino, finds Abdullahi in space. He cuts inside, might shoot, he does, it's deflected and headed away. Appeals for handball, never in a million years. And Norton's underneath it on the halfway line. Might be a chance to break for Morecambe as it's high into the air. Norton again underneath it on the halfway line. Wave after wave of white shirted pressure. No way through, and at the moment Bolasie's not having much change out of Joel Senior on this near side.
He was coming in too much, Bolasie. He needs to get on the outside. Listen, he hasn't got the legs that he used to. Certainly expect him to have the experience and know-how to get past him. You found today he's cutting back and whipping balls in again. That's okay, but what you've got to have a relationship with the people who, in terms of Jerry Yates, who's going to get on the end of it and know what he's going to do. If he's going to chop back, then it's a different type of run he's got to make, and that's what happens when you make 11 changes. It's as simple as that.
Out of play for a throw on the far side. Gone are the days where third round would mean strongest teams. Everyone is at it now. The league absolutely is the priority. 0-0, and we're desperate for some intervention. It's all in Morecambe's half. A scowl from Luke Williams down there as the ball is played back into Swansea's half. A misplaced pass. And this is about setting standards from day one for Luke Williams.
And for the players, it's about impressing your new manager.
And no one's really caught the eye yet, have they? As Wood has to turn back. There's nothing on forward, so he has to go backwards out to the far right side. Abdullahi. Those Morecambe fans have not stopped singing. Fair play to them. Pedersen in a pocket of space on this near left. Bolasie's hugging the touchline. Bolasie with stepovers, gets past Senior, cuts in, shoots, and that's onto the roof of the net. And did the keeper touch it along the way? No, it beat him on that occasion. That was not far away. And that's the quality that we've been crying out for.
And that's the moment there, the type of things that he will be able to do. Again, he just cuts in. Actually, Donovan took a little deflection on the way through. Now it's actually, the keeper just pulls himself away. He must have knew it was going over, but better from Balesi. Again, he's created his own chance, his own moments. Little step over, cuts inside, there's great effort on goal.
37 minutes gone. Swansea 0, Morecambe 0. What's happening at Hillsborough between Sheffield Wednesday and Cardiff City? Rob Phillips.
Well, Cardiff have had their chances, but they still trail 1-0 through first 2-minute goal from Josh Windass. Since then, Ryan Wintle and Callum Robinson have had penalty saves. They've had other chances as well, but it's still 1-0 Sheffield Wednesday.
Commentary continues on FM and DAB in the South East. You did hear that right. 2 Cardiff penalties missed, 3 minutes apart. Morecambe have got themselves a throw. Fisher was sold really short with a back pass. All he could do was hack it out for an attacking throw-in to the League Two side, which they take short, and then they lose the ball, and the throw-in is actually now back midway in the Swansea half. Maybe they should have shoved it forward, perhaps.
Just throw it into the box. I'm sure of it, Jed Brannan. I see what he's trying to do. They're trying to set it up from an area there. Obviously he mustn't have a long throw. We'll soon find out on this occasion now, because it's a similar type of situation, and I'm sure this one will come into the box.
A long one into that penalty area, away by Pedersen. It wasn't a particularly long throw, and Swansea might be able to counter Bettino with a good turn on the halfway line. Furthest forward is Parker, who lets it run, and the defender's there, and he thinks he got the touch. He did. Another goal at Hillsborough. Rob Phillips.
It's 2-0 from the corner. Jack Anwick appeared to have the ball, but Michael Ehikwe, the defender, got his head on it first, headed in from close range, and Cardiff are right up against it now. 2-0 down with just 7 minutes to half time.
Commentary continues. FM and DAB in the southeast and online, if you can stomach it, if you're a Cardiff fan. 0-0 here. Already today, Newport were held 1-1 by 10-man Eastleigh of the National League at Rodney Parade, so there'll be a replay week after next. Shrewsbury and Wrexham is tomorrow, and that 4th round draw is on Monday at 10-8. The winners of this tie will be ball number 24. Nothing to choose between the two sides at the moment. Swansea, as expected, have had all the possession. And this one's over the top for Balassi, who looks offside, and the flag, of course, has to stay down until he touches the ball. It does go up. And Luke Williams is cutting a frustrated figure. I've been told there's another goal between Sheffield Wednesday and Cardiff City. Rob Phillips.
It's Paul Valentin with a thunderous half volley from just outside the box, and with no chance that time. 2 goals in less than 2 minutes. Sheffield Wednesday 3, Cardiff City 0.
Cardiff heading out as it stands at the first hurdle in round 3. Newport already in the hat.
Doesn't have to go to the ground there, Joey Allen.
Joe Allen concedes the free kick midway in the Swansea half. Another set piece for Morecambe. 5 minutes left of this first half at a crisp Swansea.com stadium. It's a still night, clear skies. It's chilly, and this is a chance for the Shrimps.
What you can see is Jed Brannan, the Morecambe manager, saying, listen, do not leave it one-on-one. I think it's the young lad Parker who stayed up for Swansea. He's actually got 3 men back, coming back into a position. He understands this, Jed. If the ball's not a good one into the box, then you can be caught out if you're one-on-one. This is a great situation for Morecambe to be in with 5 minutes before the half.
Brown standing over it, as is Taylor. Plenty forward as Swansea hold their line on the edge of the penalty area. It's to the right of centre. It's Brown who tries to clip it over the top, flicked on by a Swansea head. It'll be a Morecambe corner. The roar is from the other end, from the away fans. They'll be delighted with how this one has gone, as plenty around the stadium are making their way into the concourses for something warm.
And again, this is another set piece. I've played in these games, and if you get games against the championship team that I used to play against, you'd be lucky to get two set pieces in the game, and if you did, you want to make it happen for you. You had 5 in the last 10 minutes, Morecambe.
It'll come in from the far side, which is the left. Everyone's in the 6-yard box, which is interesting. In it comes and headed away by Wood, and then flicked out of the penalty area by Patino. Parker, lovely control and turn. He'll have to do it all by himself, and he was always going to run into the defender, who hacks it out for a throw. David Chutonda, a former Cardiff and Newport man.
It was a running race, wasn't it? Again, his first touch was absolutely sublime now. To take it down the way he did, and his body movement was going in the direction of the Morecambe goal. He just took that extra touch again, which he's done pretty much most of this first half, the young lad Parker. Tremendous first touch.
Well, if you're listening to us on BBC Radio Wales and you're looking forward to seeing the highlights of this one on Match of the Day at 10:30, you might have to stay up late. I think this will be... There's no of the games played so far, no goalless draws.
Is the extra time?
There's a replay if scores are level. Morecambe is a long way away. Someone will have to do it. Plenty of time though. And Luke Williams' first half-time team talk is about 2.5 minutes away plus stoppage time. And there might be some choice words in that changing room beneath us in the bowels of this main stand. We're right at the back. The television cameras are literally over our shoulders. And Swansea, despite all their possession, have found it hard work creating chances against this stubborn Morecambe side. And that's to their credit. They have kept their shape, they've been disciplined. And Swansea have found it hard work.
Swansea have got to make it easier for themselves though as well, in terms of the way they're moving the ball. The body language has been poor. Jerry Yates hasn't touched the ball in the last 15 minutes with this football game, which is your main focal point in terms of your striker.
Cooper on this near side. You can tell he's been the most active Swansea player. Mud everywhere on his kit, and he's released on the left by Balassi. Has to cut back in though, and he turns into traffic. Still keeps hold of the ball. Pedersen back to Norton. So many red shirts in the way, they just can't thread it through. It's like threading the ball through the eye of a needle. There's so many red shirts. Parker out on the opposite side, concedes the throw.
You've got to get a 2v1 down one side of the pitch again. Abdullah just passes the ball, just stays. Get round the young lad, get round Parker, creates a 2v1. The ownership's got to be on you, being the championship team, being the home team. You've got to go and make it happen. You've got to dislodge it yourself, make your own decisions. I could play in that game out there today, honestly, and that's saying something.
Glad you said that rather than me. As Abdullah thinks he was fouled. Never in a million years is that going to be given. And Swansea go back to their goalkeeper. 0-0. Here comes the fourth official. It can't be many minutes. Barely anything has happened. Patino's had a header well tipped over the bar. Balassi's gone close. 1 minute of added time. It's still Sheffield Wednesday 3, Cardiff 0 in our other featured third round tie. And no goals in the other two 5:30 kickoffs in the FA Cup third round. Chelsea Preston scoreless, and Middlesbrough Aston Villa scoreless. That's on BBC One Wales right now. So all the late games, with the exception of Hillsborough, are not serving up any entertainment. 30 seconds of the 1 minute has gone.
The best thing I've seen in this first half, Mark, is that 1 minute come up on the clock.
Where's he found that 1 minute from? I wonder if we'll see some of the big hitters in the second half. Swansea and Luke Williams will want to win this. They'll want to start with a victory, and they've been toiling, huffing and puffing so far. Ball's out of play for a Swansea throw on the halfway line.
Sums up Swansea's half. Nathan Wood has just travelled the ball and fell over.
There is the half-time whistle. Not much has happened. Patino's gone close with a header, tipped over to the bar by the goalkeeper. Balassi with a shot over. They've had all the possession, haven't been able to create anything. It's been a tough watch so far. At half-time, it's Swansea City 0, Morecambe 0, and we are going to Hillsborough, Sheffield Wednesday, Cardiff, and Rob Phillips.
Well, this is a bonkers game, you have to say. in that Cardiff are 3-0 down, but they've had their chances, not least 2 missed penalties in the first 7 minutes. Callum Dawson's save from Ryan Wintle and Callum Robinson. But since Josh Windass put Wednesday ahead after 2 minutes, Jason Perry, they've scored with virtually every attack.
Yeah, and that's the difference. Sheffield Wednesday more ruthless in that final third. Here we go again now, Cardiff with an opportunity. Robinson down the left hand side, and they've conceded 2 in 2 minutes just before the break. We're in injury time now through either Michael Ehikwe, who the Wednesday people have given it to, or Romain Sawyer's own goal, but Anik is palpable, sort of culpable because he dropped the ball from a corner, appeared to, and then Liam Palmer thundered home a half volley from 25 yards. Can Cardiff give themselves a hope in the last minute or so? Colwell through, shoots, Dawson's equal it again. Reuben Colwell got something behind that, now breaks again to Cardiff. Colwell led to the penalty area, culls it across. Atete chests it down, shoots. Atete saved by Dawson once more. Everything at the goalkeeper, isn't it? Bowler now on the byline. And when they're finishing with a flourish, Cardiff, but this just sums up, frankly, why they need keeper more. Well, they need a centre forward. Not just from that fact that Atete takes his opportunity and slams it right at the goalkeeper, the Sheffield Wednesday goalkeeper. They need a centre forward that can hold the ball up too, because Atete this evening for me has been too easy. He's been an easy evening for the 2 centre halves, and he keeps looking for the referee and the linesman for support instead of getting on with his job and trying to occupy them both. But Reuben has his shot. Reuben Colwell straight to the keeper, decent save at the keeper. Then Atete, great turn from Atete, you have to say, in the box, shoots straight to Dawson and goals for Sheffield Wednesday. And that's been a difference. Sheffield Wednesday have been far more clinical in the final third, hence they got 3 goals. Not much time left now. In fact, that is the half-time whistle. Well, Cardiff are 3-0 down at the break. And an unbelievable first 10 minutes. Josh Windass fired Wednesday ahead on 2 minutes. Then Ryan Wintle on 4 minutes. Callum Robinson on 7 minutes. Both had penalties saved by Cameron Dawson. Then on 38 minutes, it's either a Romain Sawyer's own goal or a Michael Ehikwe goal from a corner. And then Liam Palmer made it 3-0 on 40 minutes. And in the last couple of minutes of injury time, Cardiff added to their missed chances. Cameron Dawson saved from Reuben Colwell and Keon Atete. Dawson gets the hugs as he goes off, the Wednesday keeper. But at half-time, what an amazing position for Nicholas Caridas to be in place of Errol Bullitt. It's Sheffield Wednesday 3, Cardiff City 0.
Oh, what a miserable trip up to Hillsborough then for Cardiff City fans. No magic there so far, no magic here at the Swansea.com. It's 0-0 against League 2 Morecambe. But Jason Perry, just FA Cup calamity for Cardiff, really. 3-0 down and missing those 2 penalties. Talk to us about those missed pens, and also whether you think, Jace, that you look at the team selection and think, have they got it wrong?
I looked at the team, and to be honest, other than the first few minutes, Ian, where I thought Cardiff just started a little bit sloppy, and straight away Sheffield Wednesday took the lead through a Josh Windass 30-yard shot. Nobody put him under pressure, skipped in front of the goalkeeper. When 1-0 down, I thought, well, you're either going to get hammered here or you're going to respond to it. And in fairness, Cardiff City did, and they earned 2 penalties. But if you've got the ball in the penalty spot on 2 occasions, Wintle misses it and Robertson misses it, you've got to look at yourselves, because that was a perfect chance to equalise and get ahead. But Cardiff still play some good football. Tanner's playing a left back exactly like Abdodo used to when he used to go back there. He's getting forward, he's putting crosses in. Reuben Colwell's had 2 opportunities, Atete's had opportunities, so they're creating, but they're not taking it. Whereas Sheffield Wednesday equally are playing well. Every time they open up Cardiff City, they're taking their chances, and it could have been worse than 3-0. But it's such an open game of football.
Well, we're going to need one of the best FA Cup comebacks of recent times if they're to get themselves back into this one. Jason, thank you. We'll be back with you and Rob for second half commentary on FM and DAB in South East Wales. Everywhere else, it is the Swans against Morecambe. Not a sparkling start to the Luke Williams era, the new manager who didn't stop patrolling his technical area in the whole of the first half, just striding up and down, directing the traffic, but not a lot of quality as far as the Swans are concerned, and Morecambe unable really to test the Swansea goalkeeper either. We'll talk more with Andy Robinson, the former Swansea winger, about this one shortly before the second half. It's the goals at Hillsborough, the only goals that have gone in the 5:30 kickoffs. There are 4 of them, so none here, 3 at Hillsborough, none at Middlesbrough, where it's 0-0 between Borough and Aston Villa. No goals either at Stamford Bridge, where it's Chelsea 0, Preston North End 0. And earlier on Radio Wales Sport, we heard Newport County being held 1-1 at home to 10-man Eastleigh, the National League team, who had defender George Langston sent off in the first half. So County took the lead through James Clark, but the visitors forced a replay with an 81st minute equaliser. So after needing 2 bites at Barnet to make round 3, more replay frustration for the county manager Graham Coughlin.
Mixed emotions. I thought we played really well. I thought we were the dominant team. I thought we moved the ball well. We got into really good positions. I thought territory, possession, I thought we dominated the game. Yes, probably they went down to 10 men, so the stats might fall in our favour. But before that, I thought we were good as well. We created a number of chances that we just didn't finish. Unfortunately, we're coming away from a game of football yet again, and we're going to be talking about a ridiculous decision. But hey ho, look, I thought Eastleigh were very good. Mixed emotions. Should have seen the game through. Should have won 1-0. Should have seen the game through and be in the hat tomorrow. But yeah, listen, it's we were always likely, and the game was always likely to swing on a naive refereeing decision, and I think we've seen that. But hats off to Eastleigh. I thought they were really good the way they went about their business.
Well, Newport are in the hat at least for round 4, and actually 2 non-league sides will join them after Chesterfield drew at Championship side Watford, and 6th tier Maidstone pulled off the shock of the day, the big cup set, with a 1-0 win over League One Stevenage. And in terms of games involving Premier League sides, a morale-boosting victory for Sheffield United, struggling of course in the Premier League, but they scored 4 goals at Gillingham. Rhys Norrington-Davis, the Wales international, starting that one for the first time since October 22 after injury problems. Premier League Bournemouth avoiding an upset at QPR. They came back from 2-0 down to win 3-2. The Wales striker Kiefer Moore scoring for the visitors, and Chris Mepham and David Brooks starting as well. Brighton of the Premier League avoiding a shock at Stoke. They won 4-2. João Pedro continuing his good form with 2 goals in that victory. And earlier on at lunchtime, Newcastle beating local rivals Sunderland away in the first Tyne Wear FA Cup at Derby in 70 years. Wrexham, they're in FA Cup action tomorrow. It's the cross-border derby at Shrewsbury, and after inflicting a cup upset on Coventry last year, the Wrexham defender Max Cleworth is keen for another big club, maybe one of the biggest, should they progress tomorrow.
I could list a few. I think I'm a Liverpool fan when I was younger, so probably Liverpool. But then all my family's Geordies, so Newcastle would be nice as well. Yeah, probably one of them 2 would be my dream tie. I would like to see Klopp on the touchline at the racecourse, so I don't mind wherever we play him. Yeah, that'd be good.
Why would you want to see him on the touchline?
I think it'd be funny seeing Salah and Klopp and all them roll through the racecourse ground, see if they can handle it. But nah, just to play any of them, just to see what their level is like, the way they do things. Yeah, it'd be good just to experience that how high level they are.
Yeah, good to chat with Max Cleworth yesterday. There's live commentary on that BBC on the BBC Sport website of that game, Shrewsbury Wrexham, from 2:00 tomorrow. But League 2 promotion rivals Mansfield Town dropped points at home meanwhile to Crewe Alexander today, while Barrow beat Tranmere. In the Cymru Premier, the New Saints 15 points clear after 15 wins in a row, a staggering run that they're on. They thrashed Cardiff Met 8-0, while Barry Town beat Newtown by 4 goals to 0. Penabont, meanwhile, they have been docked 3 points for fielding an ineligible player. They've also been fined £500 with 250 of that suspended until the end of next season. Merthyr Town beat Basingstoke 4-1 in the Southern League to go third. Another bit of interesting news, Sutton United have appointed the former Cardiff boss Steve Morrison as their manager to replace Matt Gray, who left the club in December. He's most recently, Morrison, been manager of the Isthmian League side Hornchurch, that he leaves the Essex club 7 points clear at the top of the Premier Division. So Steve Morrison back in the Football League as manager of Sutton. And Tottenham, by the way, have agreed a deal to sign the former Chelsea forward Timo Werner on loan from German side RB Leipzig, with the option to make the move permanent at the end of the season. In rugby's Celtic Challenge, it is a second defeat for Welsh side Brython Thunder today. They lost 25 to Clovers in Dublin. Gwalia, who beat Brython at Rodney Parade last weekend, play Glasgow at the Arms Park tomorrow. In the United Rugby Championship, the Lions beat Sharks 2018. Sharks staying bottom though. In the Welsh Premiership, Bridgend beat Carmarthen Quins beat Bridgend. Cardiff were winners at Ebbw Vale 23-9. Llandovery, the defending champions and current league leaders, got a narrow 12-11 win over Pontypridd. Neath won 19-14 at home to Merthyr, and it was Pontypool 21, Aberavon 26. So Swansea City and Cardiff City then hoping to make round 4 of the FA Cup. But before we get back to this evening's games, 0-0 between the Swans and Morecambe here, and Cardiff City 3-0 down at Sheffield Wednesday, let's just have a little wander down memory lane and two famous third round giant killings by the Swans and the Bluebirds, which are always on the minds of supporters at this time of year.
Kavanagh with the free kick. Oh, what an equaliser from Graham Kavanagh! Superb free kick. Everybody expecting the cross, but that was absolutely brilliant. Nigel Martin beaten at his near post, and Cardiff City, after going a goal behind, are back on level terms. Fulton West is there. It's in. Cardiff have scored. It's Scott Young. 4 minutes to go. Scott Young has scored what could be a dramatic winner here at Ninian Park.
The romance of the Cup captured the imagination of Swansea. Tickets were like gold dust, and the Vetch was packed to the rafters in the hope of FA Cup glory. And the players weren't about to let the supporters down. Martin Thomas putting the Swans one up after 29 minutes. And it proved to be the killer blow, giving John Holland's side the shock of the tournament and a lucrative home tie in the 4th round against another Premiership side, Derby County. A memorable night, and goal hero Thomas claiming Rio Ferdinand's shirt after earning himself a place in Swansea folklore.
Yeah, wonderful memories for Swansea fans and for Cardiff City supporters. It is 22 years ago to the day that Cardiff beat Premier League leaders Leeds at Ninian Park, and 25 years, a quarter of a century, since the Swans knocked out 3-time winners West Ham United in a memorable third round replay at their old Vetchfield home. Andy Robinson and Jason Perry will remember these games even if they didn't play in them. Andy, Jason, we thought we would dig out the archive given how these current games are going. Jason, I mean, Cardiff City, they always remember the Leeds game at this time of the year.
Of course,
you know, wonderful game, and you've had your own moments.
Yeah, I mean, it's iconic, isn't it? That picture of Scott Young just peeling away in front of the fans. You know, this bit of context, when Leeds United were the powerhouse of the Premier League at that time, top of the league, and Cardiff City once again made that stadium such a hostile place. I sat in a chair next to my young son, and we talk about it to this day, but what a great result and afternoon, never be forgotten.
Yeah, it was. What a great Sunday at Ninian Park. And Andy Robinson, you know, I think you mentioned in commentary, you had to come up with something given how this game was providing little magic to actually talk about. You talked about the win over Preston when you beat them at the Vetchfield, but on the flip side, you played in that game at Havant and Waterloo.
I scored. I got a free kick in that one as well, didn't he? And then he scored in the last minute and then went down to their ground and listen, it was the beat us, and how ironic it was to play Liverpool in the next round. So I was bitterly disappointed, and what I'm seeing here at Swansea seems like the FA Cup doesn't mean nothing to this group of players who are playing today.
Is that what you feel?
That's how I feel. That 45 minutes, a new manager walked through the door last night, and then he's seeing that. But listen, maybe he takes some blame for that, because he picked 11 different players, which I said was a gamble. And what I'm seeing out there, the FA Cup might have gone to for a couple of these players. What you're seeing out there was atrocious in that first half in terms of new manager walking through the door and what we've just seen in quality. And I said before the game, in an FA Cup game, you've got to match the desire, the hunger of the opposition. Now, the opposition is Morecambe, you know they're going to have that. That's a giver, because potentially that's all what they can offer to this game, and maybe the odd set piece. They've actually looked probably the most dangerous in terms of the set pieces they had. Swansea have had one header from Patino on target in the whole 45 minutes against Morecambe, and no disrespect to Morecambe, but that's just not good enough. Swansea needs to up it, and don't be surprised if there's 11 changes or however many they can make nowadays in this second half, early doors.
Yeah, we did see a bit of Premier League quality from Balassi, but then he played in Pedersen, and had Pedersen maybe taken it on his right foot with that chance he had, he might have got the shot away before the defender was able to nip in. So yeah, as Andy says, not many opportunities for the Swans to score. Jason, what about Cardiff? I mean, we know they're 3-0 down, they've missed those 2 penalties. What about in terms of the inexperienced players in that Cardiff side trying to make an impression? Are they making any kind of impression?
This is going to sound bonkers, what I'm going to say to you now, Ian, but Cardiff have played well. I mean, the football's been great, flowing, they've got themselves into great positions, but Bess have seen it for a long time in the final third. They've not taken advantage of that, but they've conceded silly goals. But let's remember, there's a 19-year-old playing right back who's doing well. They've then got themselves a right back playing centre half, a midfield player centre half, and a left winger playing left back for Cardiff City in the back 4. So that tells you a little bit about it. So they've been punished for that. The only difference is Sheffield Wednesday have taken their opportunities, but Cardiff have just got to believe, Ian. They've got to continue to play the way they have. They've got to try and tighten it up, but just be a little bit more better in front of goal and try and take a chance. They have to score in the first 10-15 minutes. They do that, and then we can see what happens. I'm believing. I'm doing my best.
Keep believing, Jason, keep believing. Maybe a big comeback by Cardiff City. Who knows at Hillsborough? We need something to believe in. So we get something here in Swansea as well to entertain this small crowd and give Luke Williams the perfect start as manager. Teams back out then for the second half. Teams, I think, coming back out at Hillsborough. So here we go, FM and DAB in the southeast with Jason Perry and Rob Phillips for the second half of Sheffield Wednesday Cardiff. And then on all other frequencies and BBC Sounds, it's Swansea City against Morecambe. 0-0 at the moment. Andy Robinson and Mark Poyser with the second half of this one.
Thank you, Ian. Welcome back to the Swansea.com stadium as Swansea restart the game. No changes to either side. So we hope that things can only get better. We heard all those classic FA Cup moments at half-time. There was in recent memory a third-round win for Swansea at Sheffield United when Sheffield United were in the Premier League, Swansea were in League One. This has not been one of those classics so far. 0-0.
You do know things can only get better as my karaoke song as well, don't you, Mark?
I do now.
You've definitely looked up at that, haven't you?
I'm just grateful you haven't told us in the first half about your Christmas holiday. You told everyone else.
Well, grateful I'm not singing. It's one of the two, Mark.
If it doesn't get any better, you are going to have to sing during this second half, Andy Robinson. It is Morecambe of League Two who are frustrating Swansea. In Luke Williams' first game, the ball's in the arms of Andy Fisher, making his first appearance of the season. All in black. The rest of the team is Abdullahi, Norton, Wood and Pedersen. Allen and Cooper holding in midfield, along with Patino, Parker and Balassi wide, with Jerry Yates up front, who has not seen much of the ball so far on this crisp, chilly evening in SA1. Swansea have had over 70% possession and still just the one shot on target so far against a team 49 places below them in the Football League ladder. The Morecambe team, Smith in goal, Rawson, Stokes and Beddoe are the back 3. I'll just break off as Wood comes forward for Swansea, finds Parker cutting in from this near right, and a clipped across in, he'll go all the way through, the ball's in the back of the net, and Morecambe are looking for a flag which has not arrived, and Swansea have the breakthrough 2 minutes after half-time. Charlie Patino with the final touch, with the first goal of the Luke Williams era. It is Swansea 1, Morecambe 0.
And it was the first bit of impact, wasn't it, from Nathan Wood. We've been saying about your defenders, when you're playing against a team who's playing a high defensive line, go and attack it, break into a midfield position, make something happen. Wood's certainly done that with great intent to come to a young lad Parker, who just come back in on his left hand side, didn't he? We've been saying the quality from the young lad hasn't been great. It certainly was in that instance, and what you're seeing already is Charlie Patino getting himself advanced, getting himself in a position where he potentially can score a goal, because he can take a risk in terms of getting forward in a game like this, and he's certainly done that. I think the keeper should have done a little bit better. I think he was in two minds. The keeper, whether he should have come in, it was a 6-yard box, but Patino gets his goal, and now we really want Swansea now to go and make a mark on this game.
That is the perfect start to the second half. Everyone stopped, defenders and attackers pretty much, after the ball hit the back of the net. The flag stayed down. We've seen several replays, none from the right angle. Morecambe can't believe it. Swansea are delighted. Having toiled in that first half, they have struck early in the second half, and that might just break down the resistance of this Morecambe team. And can they go and get another one in quick succession? And then the floodgates might just open in the second half here on BBC Radio Wales. We're on 882 on medium wave, all FM and DAB frequencies, with the exception of the southeast. We're also online via the BBC Sounds app. And here they come again. Swansea looking for Yates. It's deflected. Balassi can't collect. Pedersen can, edge of the box. Parker turns away. Abdullah's had a couple of shots from distance, thinks about one, clips it to the back post, headed across goal, and it just can't quite find Yates at the back post. All of a sudden Swansea have burst into life. Whatever Luke Williams said at the break has worked.
Well, I'll tell you what he said. He told Charlie Patino to get forward a lot more. That's the second time in 2 minutes since he got his goal. He's in the box, and it's Parker again, just cuts in, puts the ball into him. He's caught in two minds, Patino, at the back stick, whether to go for goal himself, or I think he's just tried to head that ball back across the goal to Jerry Yates, and I think it's the wrong decision he's made, but you can see an impact what Luke Williams has certainly said. He told Charlie Patino, get yourself forward, get you more advanced, make the Morecambe defenders move and dislodge them, and he's certainly done that in the opening 4 minutes of this game.
There's the voice of Andy Robinson alongside us. You will not have to sing your karaoke number now. We have a goal at last, and there's a Morecambe injury. Morecambe have got a free kick, and there's a player still down just outside the centre circle. The Morecambe team then: Smith in goal, Rawson, Stokes and Bedo are the back three. Senior, Songo, Threckald, Taylor and Chutonda. And it's Slew and Brown up front. And here is Slew on the near left, and the defender does really well in Abdullah, prevents the corner. It's a throw in instead to Morecambe, and they're going to leave it for Chutonda, who clearly has the longest throw. And in fact, they've caught Swansea out by going short to Slew. He'll come into the box. He's brought down Cooper, and that was a comedy of errors. It's a free kick to Swansea.
How many times have Morecambe done that this evening now? In terms, they've got a chance just to put Swansea under a little bit of pressure, put it into the box, and he played a short throw-in or a short corner. It's beyond belief.
It's still Sheffield Wednesday 3, Cardiff 0 in our other featured game. And the other two FA Cup ties being played at 5:30 kickoffs: Chelsea 0, Preston 0, and live on BBC One Wales, Middlesbrough 0, Aston Villa 0. The story of the day so far: Maidstone of National League North beating Stevenage 1-0 into the fourth round for the very first time. They're the lowest ranked team left in the competition. They were before this round. And don't forget, tomorrow we've got Wrexham against Shrewsbury, 2 o'clock kickoff. That's online by the BBC Sport Wales website. Arsenal Liverpool on BBC One Wales. Here comes Swansea. Cooper in space in the box, brought down on the edge of the penalty area. Referee had a perfect view, nothing given. Could have done better with it, Cooper, and in frustration he's committed a foul on Chutonda. Morecambe players hitting the deck left, right and centre here.
Yeah, it was a
They got a free kick inside their own half. Swansea lead 1-0 here.
It was a bad touch, wasn't it, from Ollie Cooper? It's Abdullah from the right hand side. He plays a lovely, whizzes the ball into him, doesn't he? His first touch lets him down, Ollie Cooper. And then he's chasing his own tail and it makes a tackle on the Morecambe defender. Just can't get himself into the game at the moment, Ollie Cooper.
And a break for Parker. They could do the second goal. Yates will chase this. The defender Rawson does really well in the right position. Yates doesn't have a sniff. Allen's taken out one of his own men, and Chutonda can come forward for Morecambe, who are in red shirts, white shorts and red socks. They'll have to make do with a throw. There's activity on the Morecambe bench. I think there's going to be a debut for Gwion Edwards as Parker comes forward for Swansea. Gets a little nutmeg on Rawson. No advantage. The referee's going to bring it back for a foul on Jerry Yates in the Swansea half of the field.
Well, it's also took a 17-year-old to get Swansea going, hasn't it, in terms of Parker down this right hand side of the pitch. He's been really lively, hasn't he, in the opening moments of this second half. Created the goal, created the second chance for Charlie Patino. Put the ball across the box with a header to Jerry Yates, and then he was nearly away there, wasn't he, down this right hand side of the pitch. Actually looked like they've made a change here. Balassi's coming to the right and young Parker's going to the left.
Yep. And meanwhile, Threckle has come off. Gwion Edwards, the former Swansea trainee, never made a first team appearance. He is on for his Morecambe debut, having signed on a short-term deal on Wednesday. Swansea 1, Morecambe 0 in the FA Cup third round. Here's Allen for the Swans to the corner flag. On the far left, crosses easily away by Rawson, collected by Parker. Abdullahi, reverse pass. Cooper's got his back to goal. Here's Joe Allen peppering the penalty area here, and they can't quite find the right pass, and it's behind for a goal kick. Swansea lead 1-0.
So much better from Swansea in terms of the numbers they're getting into the box again. Patino, Cooper, both getting beyond Jerry Yates again. Abdullah's, it's a bad pass into the box. In terms of his quality from the young lad, he's got to be better. But certainly the tempo has been a lot better from Swansea.
There's Andy Robinson here on BBC Radio Wales. FA Cup football until Bethan Elvin takes over at 7:30. Adam Walton at 10. Don't forget Radio Wales breakfast on Monday, bright and early from 7 o'clock. The perfect way to wake up with us here on BBC Radio Wales, and we'll be back again after today, after FA Cup weekend. Next Friday we've got rugby commentary. Ospreys against Perpignan on Friday night from 7, and next Saturday we'll do it all again with 4 football commentaries. Swansea go to Birmingham, and Cole Robb returns next Saturday as well at 5:30. This is a Morecambe free kick, level with the penalty spot on this near left side, just a couple of steps in from this near touchline, and Morecambe's best chance of a goal is surely going to be from a set play.
It certainly will be. It's come from Yannick Balassi as well. It was the greatest tackle in the world in terms of that position. They didn't have to make the tackle as well. Ollie Cooper was round, tucked in. Abdullah was there. Obviously Abdullah's down now as we speak. He's hurt himself in the collision there.
As he's not missing any action. Swansea are going to bring on Bashir Humphreys. Chelsea have just taken the lead against Preston. Premier League leading the Championship. Broha has got the goal. Still goalless between Middlesbrough and Aston Villa in the live TV game on BBC One Wales. This could well be a straight swap, as Humphreys is being treated.
Certainly made the decision up, hasn't he? He's injured.
Well, fair play to the Morecambe fans, because that is the noise you can hear. Morecambe kicking in their red shirts towards the travelling fans. They're going from right to left. There's a block and a half of them behind that goal, just underneath the colour scoreboard. There's actually 2 changes. Matt Grimes is coming on as well, the captain. We've played 12 minutes. It's Joe Allen who comes off for Matt Grimes, and I suspect that might have been planned, whatever the score. And it is indeed Azim Abdullahi who is replaced by Bashir Humphreys. Andy Robinson.
Yeah, listen, with Joe, you can probably understand that one. He's got 60 minutes in the bank for Joe. Actually thought in the first half Joe was probably one of the more livelier players. He looked like he wanted to get on the ball and make something happen from the middle of the park, and unfortunately for Abdullah, looks like he's got himself an injury, the young lad, so it's just like for like in that position.
In comes the free kick. All that build-up, and it's hacked high into the sky by Yates, and then the referee's seen an infringement by Morecambe, so it matters not. It's a Swansea free kick.
And that's what you're up against, you're Swansea City.
And Morecambe have only won one match this season when going behind. That was at Lincoln in round 1. They won 2-0 at Wickham in the second round, so they've beaten 2 League One teams to get here. And in fact, they've only won 2 of the last 39 games they've fallen behind in, and that is stretching back 16 months. They're behind here. Charlie Patino, 2 minutes after half-time, giving us the first goal of the Luke Williams era. They may be winning, but he's no less satisfied, the Swansea manager down there. The bald head, beard, black coat, he's animated.
He certainly is, and he's been like that from the first minutes. Probably rightly so over the 45 minutes that he's just witnessed. It actually looks like Kyle Norton's gone to the right back position, and Humphreys will slot back in at centre half with Abdullah going off.
Here's Songo with the low hung socks. Guion Edwards into the thick of the action as Taylor then is brought down.
It's a silly free kick again from Swansea. Balassi before. Not a silly free kick to give away in an area of the pitch. The only saving grace in this game is Morecambe's delivery has been woeful, hasn't it? And I mean woeful.
And that's being kind. Guion Edwards will take this free kick midway in the Swansea half. It's getting no better. Easily headed away by the first man, who's Jerry Yates. Parker then is tackled by Chutonda, who then almost lost the loose ball. And they'll go all the way back to the goalkeeper.
Honestly, for professional footballers to do that on 3 occasions in a game like this.
Well, that's the big annoyance to the mere mortals in the stadium, professionals who can't beat the first man.
It's, if you can't put that ball in, do a flat one. And what I mean in a flat ball is hit it with your laces, where at least you know you're going to get the distance and you're not trying too hard with the whip. And it just baffles me, it really does.
So in the opening, as Swansea get a throw, we've played an hour, 11 changes in the starting lineup. Has anyone given Luke Williams something to think about? The starters have probably enhanced, the regular starters I mean, and they've probably enhanced their reputations by not playing.
Well, certainly he'll have a good look at the 11 who played in that first 45 minutes and think, well, you haven't done enough for me, I'm afraid.
We must credit Morecambe as well, who have been rugged, but Swansea really lacked any quality. They've got the ball in the penalty area, but Patino, the goal scorer, is moving towards the corner flag on the far left. Pedersen, Grimes' first touch, having replaced Joe Allen. Norton's in a bit of space midway in the Morecambe half, gets clattered off the ball. Play continues. Pedersen on the left will cross, looking for Yates, headed away by Rawson, who's in the right place at the right time. Swansea, we know, have a bit of an Achilles heel when leading this season, so Morecambe certainly won't be throwing in the towel, and they're on the counter-attack here with Senior. There's space at the back post for Brown if the cross is right. It's not, it's flicked away by Wood, but Brown then picks it up, goes down on the edge of the box. Wood wins the strength battle, and now the game's a bit more stretched. Balassi to Cooper over the halfway line. Patino, and then passes it straight back to Morecambe. Both teams giving the ball away.
That's what we're talking about against Morecambe again. It's a breakaway, and Swansea are just poor in terms of the quickness, the tempo, and then the quality for Patino. It's a laboured layoff. He's actually been one of Swansea's better players, Patino, in the second half, but that's just lazy.
Let's not forget Charlie Patino's parent club is Arsenal. Yates has his shirt pulled, but he's able to juggle the ball on the halfway line. And Swansea increase the tempo. They might be able to get the key second goal. That was not convincing by Yates. Tried some trickery when he was surrounded, engulfed by red shirts. The ball's bouncing around like a hot potato for both teams at the moment. On what is a very chilly night here at the Swansea.com Stadium. And the pitch is starting to cut up as well a little bit. You can see the stud marks left all over the surface. Here's Humphreys, the substitute, with the high hair, long sleeves and gloves. It's a cold night. That's a great ball, and it'll be collected by Parker. Chance for Yates, but the cross is just too far in front of Jerry Yates. Goes right across the face of the goal, and Chutonda can clear.
Again, I think Jerry Yates has got to be on the end of that ball. It's a great ball by Parker. Has he played it a little bit too quick and Yates isn't there? I don't think so. I think Yates has got to be on the front foot. Once he sees that ball go out to the young lad on the left side, he's going to be busting a gut to get into that box to get himself a goal. And he just never done it. It's a fantastic ball across the box.
They've got a free kick, which they're going to take short midway in the Morecambe half. It's a slender lead. Morecambe so far have not shown us that they've got the quality to get back into it. As Cooper wins a free kick, and now this is in much more dangerous territory down this near right channel. Swansea going from left to right in the second half. Empty end behind the goal to the right, empty black and white seats, all the crowds in the two side stands, main stand in and around us, and across them is two more Morecambe changes incoming as we are about to hit the midway point in the second half. It's gone short. Free kicks go short just like the corners. Wood finds Norton, and they're slowly inching backwards. And they're in fact going all the way back to the halfway line and back to their own goalkeeper, having had a free kick level with the penalty spot. Out to Norton on the halfway line. Tries to take on Songo, and who does that touch last? Everyone's looking at the assistant who's waiting for the referee. It goes Swansea's way. Swansea lead 1-0 if you're just joining us here on BBC Radio Wales, or if you're listening to us via your smartphone or tablet on the BBC Sounds app. Offside flag is up. Chelsea 2, Preston 0, so no shock at Stamford Bridge. Thiago Silva has got the second goal. All the third round highlights tonight at 10:30 on BBC One Wales. Maidstone United are the story of the National League North into the fourth round for the very first time. 1-0 Swansea lead. Andy Robinson.
And Morecambe, as you've said before, are making two changes, and rightly so. They're starting to get opened up a little bit in terms of the back four they've gone to in the second half. Morecambe again, this gap just appearing, and you can see Charlie Bassino again on that occasion. The slide wheel ball is on now, where in the first half that weren't happening for Swansea, and the young lad Parker on a couple of seasons now switched to the left side. He's certainly getting involved more down that side, and the gaps are opening up for Swansea. And that's down to fatigue possibly, and Morecambe's game plan in terms of shuffling left to right, making sure they don't put things in the box, making sure we don't get opened up. 65 minutes of the game of doing that, it can be tiring, Mark, and I think you are seeing them gaps out in between the full-back and the centre halves.
Surely gaps will appear. As Andy Robinson has just found the coffee that I brought him up at half time, which, no surprise, is cold. As we played 20 minutes of the second half.
The action's been that good, Mark. You haven't had time to take a drink.
Oh, the expression on your face then was an absolute picture. It'll be my takeaway memory from this game tonight.
You know what, Mark, I'm going to persist with it now, mate.
We're still waiting for the ball to go out of play. For the two changes, Bloxham and Mayer are waiting to come on. We're at the midway point in the second half. A quarter of the game remains. You're listening to BBC Radio Wales. Swansea City 1, Morecambe 0. There's two Swansea changes incoming as well, who are Cullen and Patterson, so this is going to be fun for me. 4 changes at once.
Mark, I can guarantee you this is going to happen every 5 minutes now.
I think you're going to get your revenge in a couple of moments. A foul on Cooper. Swansea want to take it quickly, and the referee's going to bring it back. Balassi might have been away there.
It was the tackle on young Cooper, wasn't it? The referee's pulled him off for.
Chelsea now lead Preston by 3-0. Raheem Sterling has surely put the tie beyond the Championship side. Morecambe are going to keep their changes up their sleeve. The red-shirted pair have gone and sat back down again. Swansea's changes then. Yannick Bolasie is coming off to be replaced by Jamie Patterson. Patterson, who has previously scored a hat-trick in round 3. And Sam Parker, who has probably been the pick of the bunch tonight, comes off for Liam Cullen.
That surprises me, it really does. The young lad's been the best player for Swansea, certainly in the second half.
But again, Liam Cullen got himself a couple of goals. Probably expected to be starting tonight. But with the 11 changes and the disruption, as I said before the game, wasn't to happen. Jerry Yates is fortunate he's still on the pitch for me.
Well, Morecambe trying to chase the game, and you're seeing some of the A-listers, if you like, in the Swansea squad coming on. Cullen's been in fine goal-scoring form of late. Swansea looking for the second goal. Patino is crowded out on the edge of the penalty area, and Morecambe get a free kick. And here come the changes. Bloxham and Mayer stand up, get a handshake from their manager, Jed Brannan, in the all-black tracksuit. And referee is pointing to the fourth official. He's taking his time here.
Substitution seemed to be ready, didn't he, Mark? About 10 minutes.
Fourth official's having a mare here. He's had to look at the sheet of paper because he hasn't got the numbers ready. So he's keeping us all in suspense here.
That's what the
with 68, the magic of the cup right here. He still hasn't put the board up. And at long last, it's Bloxham coming on, and Charlie Brown is coming off. And Adam Mayer will replace Jordan Slew. So the front two are being completely changed, and we've got 20 minutes left here on BBC Radio Wales. The League 2 side are not going to be getting an upset unless they can force an equaliser. 1-0 to Swansea City.
Changing the front two might help. It'll create a little bit more energy. Been in that area of the pitch much, but remember 15 minutes ago, or 20 minutes ago, sorry, you just don't know. I'm surprised the young lad Michael Mellon hasn't made an appearance today. Obviously he must be injured.
Bloxham with a shot from distance, straight into the action, comfortably watched wide by Andy Fisher. Let's get an update from Hillsborough. Sheffield Wednesday against Cardiff. Any sign of a comeback for Rob Phillips?
It's 3-0 to Sheffield Wednesday. We are 25 minutes into the second half, but actually Cardiff have played some lovely football and just cannot find the finish. Notably Callum Robinson with a header which went just wide from point blank range. 3-0. They're probably going out, but it's a funny old game, this.
Commentary continues on FM and DAB in the South East. Swansea going through as it stands. Newport already in the hat after a 1-1 draw with National League Eastleigh. They'll have to do it all over again the week after next. Wrexham play Shrewsbury tomorrow. That one will be live online via the BBC Sport Wales website. Swansea free kick inside their own half into the final 19 minutes. No sign of a Morecambe comeback, but no sign of a Swansea second goal yet.
After that opening 10 minutes, which was bright, inventive from Swansea, it's just failed again, hasn't it? Really, you've gone back into being laboured. I don't know if the substitutions has made that happen.
Norton's given the ball away, and almost in on this near left side, just ever so slightly behind Edwards. Songo's able to pinch it by the corner flag in Swansea territory after that lazy pass by Kyle Norton. Edwards back in field to Chutondo. It's all on the edge of the box on the left side. Back heel by Edwards doesn't come out for Morecambe, and Swansea are able to clear their lines. Yates takes it down on his chest, And Grimes finds Cooper. It's neat and tidy, and Swansea move forward up towards the halfway line. The draw for the fourth round is at 10-8 on Monday. You can listen to it on BBC Radio 5 Live as Wood is caught in possession. He's able to recover though from Edwards. Swansea just got to be careful here. Just a couple of times in the last couple of moments, a little sloppy in possession inside their own half. They haven't yet killed Morecambe off.
Certainly trying to play more football. You can instantly see that Luke Williams has told them to do that, but again, I'm sure he would like it to be a lot further up the pitch. In terms of the way he plays, the way they try and score goals, going off the Notts County, the amount of goals they scored there, they certainly weren't scoring them goals in their own half. So Swansea's got to be better, and the goal come from that crying out for the goal. Nathan Wood broke out of defence, didn't he? Played a lovely 1-2 with Parker, and then you get the goal, and as if that 10-minute period, Swansea have just gone back in the shell again.
It's gone back to walking pace, hasn't it? Now you're listening to BBC Radio Wales. Bethan Elbert is coming up at 7:30. If you're about to go out and you want to listen to the final 17 minutes plus stoppage time of this one, download the BBC Sounds app to your smartphone or tablet, and you can take us out and about whatever you're doing this chilly Saturday night. And whilst you're on there's loads to listen to. The Ellis James Feast of Football podcast this week features Stephen Carroll of the Swansea fanzine. No surprises for guessing what he's on to talk about. If you're a Swansea supporter, that is well worth listening to. As is the final 16 minutes plus stoppage time. Hasn't been a classic, but as it stands, Swansea are going through to round 4, something which they haven't managed too much in recent years.
Mark, they're going back with the ball out, Swansea, at all times, now at all costs. When the ball's coming, even Liam Cullen's getting in the ball in his own half, he's coming back into Swansea's half and playing as if, let's just see the game out. Fisher's had probably more touches than the centre forward for Swansea today, and he's playing Morecambe.
That is Andy Robinson alongside me, probably summing up how we're not sure of the crowd. We're told about 7,000 or 8,000 maybe. It hasn't been announced yet how many of them might be feeling watching this. They're leading 1-0. They've had all the possession, but they haven't created too many chances in Luke Williams' first game in charge 32 days after the sacking of Michael Duff and a more than little flirtatious approach to Chris Davis at Tottenham. And he is still pacing around. He has not sat down all game, Luke Williams, waving his arms around. Swansea passing it around in Morecambe's half. Morecambe have almost sat back into their defensive shape. The ball's all around the halfway line. Just hoping for an opening, a set play, to try and force a replay. Whilst it's 1-0, that is always a possibility. 15 minutes left here at the Swansea.com Stadium. Chilly, clear night in southwest Wales. It's a Morecambe throw. Swansea's passing, comes to nothing.
Passing to go backwards, to go forward again. Ollie Cooper's getting on. He's got to get on the half turn, Ollie Cooper. There's a chance for him to impress the manager. Taking the easy option, get on the half turn and go and create something, show him what you can do.
Chutonda down the line looking for Mayer, and they win a throw in. They're waiting to bring on another 2 changes, Mellon and Cameron Smith. A yellow card in there for a Swansea player, I think Wood, for kicking the ball away. Morecambe, it looks like, are going to play their, hopefully for them, their trump cards.
Thinking the top scorer on with 15 minutes to go. Maybe it's the game plan.
On a night when Swansea made 11 changes, they're leading only by 1-0. Mayer will take this throw long into the penalty area from the near left, headed away by Swansea. It'll reach Cooper, who's clearly fouled there by Songo, and here will come the changes. And this will be interesting to see how this affects the game, considering who is coming on for Morecambe. They haven't had a lot of quality. They're going to get it now because Songo is coming off. Michael Mellon, son of the Oldham manager Mickey, is coming on. 15 goals this season. And it's Chris Stokes coming off for Cammy Smith with 13 minutes left.
He must have had an injury, Mark, to bring your top scorer on with that amount of goals. Bring him on with 15 minutes to go. Maybe it's a gamble, it's a risk, maybe he has got a little bit of a knock. I'm sure you can afford to take it with 10 minutes to go. And that's my own pal's son as well, Mickey Mellon. Had a good times with Mickey at Shrewsbury and Tranmere. Absolute top fella. His son's making a grade in the game as well himself.
A Swansea throw on the halfway line. They're not in any hurry to take. If it stays this way, Luke Williams will be happy with the result. I don't think he'd be too impressed with the performance, but he's only had one training session, having been appointed yesterday. And that 5-0 victory against Morecambe for Notts County just 8 days ago, that must for him feel like a lifetime ago.
I guarantee you there was a lot more agency in that Notts County team than what you see in other Swansea players, and that's not being disrespectful, Mark. I said before the game, you've got to have a desire, you've got to have a work rate and a hunger more than the lower oppositions in an FA Cup game. That's as simple as that. That's a giver. And I'm not saying go and put your foot around, because Swansea don't have to do that in a game like this. I'm talking a desire to go and get on the half turn, go and beat a man, go and show the new manager who come through the door 24 hours ago what you can do. Luke Williams, I don't know what he's going to take out of this game, I'm going to be completely honest. Maybe himself or Sheen to that blame for making 11 changes. I don't see the point. I actually do not see the point about them 11 changes that they made. It doesn't make sense to me, but again, and this is what you're seeing here. Put 10 minutes in the second period and possibly won you the football game, but I don't know.
That noise you could hear in the background while Andy Robinson was talking is the Morecambe supporters. They certainly haven't given up. They're still singing. They've got a long journey home. And you never know, there might be something at the end of them for them. Swansea have not killed the game off. It's only 1-0. And it's a long Morecambe throw about to come into the penalty area from the opposite side of the field to us. The centre halves are forward. And they're going to go short again. Everyone stayed forward. Senior infield to... Gwion Edwards is trying to break into the penalty area, and he gets no change there from the defender.
Liam Cullen in that passage.
It was Liam Cullen. Just trying to work out who it was. He's been scoring goals at the other end.
Again, you don't want him in that area of the pitch,
no,
really, do you?
But then Swansea give it away inside their own half. Morecambe have got a feeling there might be a chance, and they're moving forward now. Plenty of numbers. The cross is deep. It's behind all three red shirts inside the penalty area. But then Cullen, we've just been praising him, dwells on the ball and loses it right in front of us on this near left side. That 1-0 lead is looking rather slender at the moment. Swinging high cross infield, too close to Andy Fisher, easy save. 10 minutes left.
Morecambe's back period of the game in terms of having the football, putting 3 passes together in terms of possession of the ball. And again, this is in terms of Brannan. He would have looked at before the game and thinking 1-0, 10 minutes to go at Swansea's ground. I'll take that with an opportunity to possibly get ourselves a goal. And then 10-minute period, perfect scenario for him, not for Swansea.
Well, Swansea will not want a replay. Morecambe would be absolutely delighted to take Swansea back to the Mazuma Mobile Stadium the week after next. Newport and Eastleigh today have already booked themselves a replay after a 1-1 draw at Rodney Parade. Cardiff still 3-0 down at Sheffield Wednesday. Wrexham plays Shrewsbury tomorrow at 2. It's live on BBC on the BBC Sport Wales website. Swansea in possession. 9 minutes left here at the Swansea.com stadium. Grimes will try and curl it to the back post for Cullen, and that one's watched behind for a goal kick to Morecambe.
It's not like Matty Grimes to put a ball in like that. It's a little bit of a laboured ball from the skipper. He's looking for options, and there was way many options in terms of when he's picked his head up. Jerry Yates has run away from him. Ollie Cooper's run away from him. He's thinking, where do we put it? Puts it out for a goal kick for Morecambe.
But they've got bodies forward now, whereas so far in this game, at times there has been no one in front of the ball. They've chucked everyone on now. Their handbrake is well and truly off for the red shirts as they attack their travelling supporters in what is now the last 8 minutes of this game. That's a good turn by Bloxham over on the far right side. Grimes back defending, it deflects. Bloxham races back to get it, but the tackle comes in by Patterson, and Grimes can attempt to clear his line. Swansea will of course play their way out. That is, in inverted commas, the Swansea way. That's why Luke Williams is hired. Fisher, but it's headed straight back. Here's Gwion Edwards, middle of midfield, forced backwards. They're having a leap round the referee here, but the red shirts have got the ball.
Transitional period as well. Morecambe are picking up the second balls now.
Good break by Senior. He cuts infield. Patterson then steals it from him, picks his pocket, and Cooper can lead Swansea forward. Second goal will finish the game. And there's a bit of hesitation there from Patterson. It seemed to be a good ball, and he just didn't run after it.
I think Patterson actually wanted to play it into his feet on the wide area, not in behind the Morecambe centre half.
Norton for Swansea, this time on this right side, right in front of us. Grimes looking to pick the right pass. The captain plays it low to Yates, off to Patino. Not a great layoff to him, the goal scorer. And Mellon might win it here on the halfway line for Morecambe. A bit more pressure on the ball. Swansea are able to just move it away comfortably as they hang to this 1-0 lead. Scooped up over the top, and this is a chance. Patterson in the penalty on the left, and Pedersen over the crossbar from the angle.
Just like conviction, didn't he? He never ever looked like scoring, Pedersen, in that situation. Again, it's Matty Grimes, lovely little ball over the full-back's head. Patterson gets himself in that position where we've seen him getting at players, and he actually picks them out okay. Just never looked comfortable, Pedersen, did he? Never got over the ball. It's over the Morecambe goal, but it's better from Swansea again. He's getting third men runners then into the box.
The ball in the net. The ball is in the net again at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea goal is under VAR review. They currently lead 3-0, so it's not going to change the outcome of that tie either way. Swansea leading this third round match 1-0. That's a tasty challenge on Cullen, and they're squaring up to each other, Cullen and it's Adam Mayer. The referee's got to come across. He has given the free kick, and there is a yellow card. I don't know what he's complaining about.
I think it's just the nature and the mannerisms of the tackle. Watch back at it now. Yeah, he's caught him. Liam's got himself his body in front of him, hasn't he? And a little bit reckless from the young lad. And certainly is a yellow card in second viewing.
Matty Cash has surely sent Aston Villa into the fourth round draw. 2 minutes from time in the live BBC One Wales game. Middlesbrough 0, Aston Villa 1. Same scoreline here in Swansea's favour. The free kick is taken short. We're going to have to get used to that, I think. Corners, free kicks, they're not just going to whip it into the penalty area. That is not Luke Williams' philosophy. They're still checking that goal at Stamford Bridge. The seconds ticking away here at the Swansea.com stadium in Luke Williams' first game in charge. It's the results more than the performance that will please him. Swansea have had all of the ball while I've been talking, all round the halfway line.
His philosophy is to score goals. You haven't looked like doing that tonight.
Grimes might hit one, tries to throw it through for Patino, no flag. Patino runs into traffic, scooped out by Morecambe. Back to Grimes, midway in the Morecambe half in a central position. The Chelsea goal stands. It's Chelsea 4, Preston 0. As Morecambe, the ball's been headed straight to Jerry Yates, who turns and shoots, and that's the cup tie. On the turn from the edge of the penalty area, Jerry Yates rifles Swansea into round 4 and gives Luke Williams a win in his first game in charge. Swansea 2, Morecambe 0.
I think that'll do his confidence a load. The good Jerry Yates has not taken part really in this game of football. It's a loose ball, isn't it? It's a tired header from the Morecambe defender. When it comes, he actually falls back on his heels, and then Jerry Yates just take a pop at it. The keeper should have got across to it. He hasn't hit it with major conviction, but it's found that bottom corner. He gets himself a goal, and then he gets substituted at the same time.
His last touch of the ball is to seal the match. Nikola Kuharevich is coming on. Jerry Yates has scored. We've got 3 minutes left, and Swansea are going to be in Monday's 4th round draw, barring something miraculous. They lead by 2-0, and we have been critical at times of his performance this evening, but that was a brilliant finish on the turn, first time in that bottom corner.
Yeah,
2-0.
It was instinctive. Listen, he hasn't been involved tonight, but I think from his point of view, he'd be going home tonight knowing he scored a goal. A little bit of confidence after a poor performance, we've got to be completely honest, but he's got himself a goal.
His first goal in 7 matches. Swansea have got a corner, so they try and put a bit of gloss on the scoreline. They've taken the corner short, of course. Cooper, Grimes, blocked. That short corner did work. Morecambe was sleeping, and Grimes almost made it 3. Morecambe, meanwhile, over the halfway line with Chutonda. Here's Mellon. Ball over the top is into the feet of Norton, and Swansea can play their way away. Cooper is caught by Edwards. Whoever's washing Ollie Cooper's kit is going to have to earn overtime here. It's clarted in mud. It looks like he's played on a different pitch to everyone else. He's played on a quagmire, everyone else has played on a bowling green.
I don't know if that's a good thing now you're on the floor. Years ago it was a good thing, wasn't it? Because you've actually worked your socks off, so they used to say in the olden days. Is it now?
Well, most of the white shirts are still pristine white, apart from Ollie Cooper's, who's been rolling around.
I can understand that in terms of the game that I've just watched, Mark.
About to enter the final minute of normal time. Swansea are going through. It's going to be a winning start for Luke Williams. Pedersen on the left, crossing. And it might be a chance for Cullen. It's missed him. It'll be collected at the back post by Norton on this right. Cullen is with him. Here he is, corner of the penalty area. Infield to Grimes. Cullen. Reverse pass into Cooper, who spins. Still going Cooper to the byline. Checks back though. Cullen. Still all on the right. They're going outwards rather than inwards. Every red shirt in the penalty area. Back to Norton. And they work it back to Grimes. Patterson, and they're toying with Morecambe now. They've got themselves over the line. Patino, who started it 2 minutes after half time. Cullen shifts in and crosses. That's a dangerous ball. No one attacked it. Comfortably behind for a goal kick.
It's a great bit of play from Swansea. Ollie Cooper down the right hand side, just stops it back, doesn't he? To Liam Cullen, who whips a lovely ball into the box. It's just so inviting, isn't it? Swansea, Patterson trying to get himself in there. Matty Grimes being the third man run. He can't get in there. The ball's actually that good. The players can't get on the end of it. Swansea have seen a way through. They found a way to get the win in this game, by the looks of it. But by all means, it hasn't been the greatest performance.
We are into 5 minutes of added time. 7,670, which is one of the lowest FA Cup attendances here for a number of years, not including those COVID seasons which are in lockdown. Morecambe have got themselves a throw. It is still Sheffield Wednesday 3, Cardiff 0. Middlesbrough 0, Aston Villa 1, Chelsea 4, Preston 0. So no shocks really in the 5:30 games. As Morecambe come into the box, Rawson, and he just helped it towards goal with not much in the way of conviction. I think he was trying to help it onto a teammate. Perhaps he could have shot himself. Fisher has the ball. And of course, Swansea play it out. Grimes. They have looked a lot better, Swansea, since the regular starters have come on. There's a free kick here and another goal at Hillsborough for Rob Phillips.
4-0 now. Malik Wilkes broke away down the right side. Clinical finish. If only Cardiff had such a finisher, then it's now 4-0 in injury time. Cardiff going out.
That is a long trip to Yorkshire for that scoreline. The Cardiff City supporters. 2-0 Swansea still lead. They will be in the hat on Monday. And into Kuharevic. It's over the bar at the near post. But Luke Williams liked that one as he applauded.
I think it's like the intensity, wasn't it, from Swansea on that occasion again. Quick movement, gets into a decent position, then gets across his man. He just guided on target, can he? Pedersen done really well. In terms of the ball, he fired across the box as well. Food for thought for Luke Williams in terms of what he's seen this evening. Or this afternoon. Is it this evening or not? Is it this afternoon? What is it, Mark?
It's this evening.
It's this evening, okay.
First time you've ever beaten me to a ground. That's only because you thought it was a 3 o'clock kickoff. What you must have thought as you were driving, oh, where's all the traffic?
I can see you'll be saying that now and all I hear dossiers that you'll be sending out to me. Let's get him there for the 3 o'clock kickoff.
Just be grateful you didn't get it the wrong way around. Turn up at 5:30 for a 3 o'clock kickoff.
I suppose that's happened somewhere, Mark, hasn't it?
Well, news of Cardiff City's scoreline has reached the home fans here. Cardiff get battered everywhere they go, sing the home fans. Cardiff are going out, Swansea are going through. 2 minutes left of the 5 added minutes. Can Swansea get a third to put a bit of gloss on the scoreline? Has been a vintage performance, but they are into the hat, and that's all that matters when it comes to knockout football. And they're just passing it around. The Morecambe stuff is like a training ground game now in the Morecambe half. Cooper in a pocket of space, Cullen on the right, low to Norton. Grimes will be encouraged to shoot. He tries to clip it over the top for Cullen, not quite, behind for a goal kick, and that might be their last attack.
They've certainly looked a lot more comfortable, Mark, when say the first team players have come onto the pitch. In terms of your Matty Grimes, your Pattersons, certainly made an impact on that pitch. Liam Cullen looked a little bit more crisper in terms of what they've done, but then again, you're coming up against a team in Morecambe who, after 17 minutes of playing the way they played, they're probably showing a little bit of fatigue, so the game does come a little bit stretched, and that's what you're seeing. And
final minute of added time. Patterson into the box, charges between two, it's blocked. Now, Aston Villa have beaten Middlesbrough, Premier League beats Championship with a very late goal. They're into the hat for Monday's 4th round draw. Now, Swansea take the throw in quickly. Grimes crosses looking for Kuharevic. It's gone all the way through. Cullen will pick up by the corner flag on the near right. Again, it's walking pace from Swansea. If you're just tuning in to us here on BBC Radio Wales, Swansea 2, Morecambe 0, Sheffield Wednesday 4, Cardiff 0. And the evening show with Beth and Elvin is starting in about 5 minutes or so. Only seconds remain. Checker to watch from the referee. Swansea have the ball, and it is a win for Luke Williams in his first game in charge. A cup win for Swansea to send them into the FA Cup 4th round draw on Monday. It wasn't convincing, but the goals arrived in the second half through Charlie Patino and Jerry Yates, who scores for the first time in 7 games. Luke Williams might not be pleased with the performance. He will be pleased with a victory in his first game in charge. The new era is off and running in SA1. It finishes Swansea City 2, Morecambe 0.
Yeah, not exactly a show-stopping performance from Swansea, was it? In what felt like a pretty clunky audition for many in white in front of the new conductor, but he'll be happy with the win. On he goes to the pitch to shake the hands of all of his players as Swansea win 2-0 over the League 2 side Morecambe. Let's take you to Hillsborough then, meanwhile, and a miserable FA Cup evening for Cardiff City about to come to an end. Let's join Jason Perry and Rob Phillips there at Hillsborough.
It's all over. Cardiff have lost by 4 goals to 0. It's such a strange game. In the first 7 minutes, Josh Winder snapped Wednesday ahead. after just 2 minutes, but then Ryan Wintle and Callum Robinson both had penalties saved from Cameron Dawson, who has frankly been the Wednesday man of the match. Romain Sawyer's own goal, or maybe it was Michael Ehikwe, we'll work that out later, and then Liam Palmer just before the break made it 3-0. To be fair to Cardiff, they put on more youngsters, had a right go in the second half, but Malik Wilkes had the final word with a 4-0, with the fourth in a 4-0 win. And well, I just can't explain it, Jason Perry, really. It's really odd.
It's the strangest game I've seen for a long time. A lot of good performances out there for Cardiff. Showed character, didn't drop their heads. As I said, in between both boxes, I thought Cardiff played well. Fluency, movement of the ball I haven't seen for a long time. Created umpteen chances, but didn't take those chances, and that's where Sheffield Wednesday were the better. Both boxes defended better and took their opportunities, but youngsters getting on there. Kieran Evans got on there, Joel Colwell, Keane Ashford, Cameron Atherley. There's a lot of pluses from this performance, but it hurts. When you lose 4-0, it hurts, but it's one of the strangest games I've seen for a long time, Rob.
It does hurt, Ian. Cardiff City will not be in that fourth round draw tomorrow afternoon. They will concentrate on the championship, and if ever a side needed a striker or a goal getter, a poacher in front of goal, it's the Bluebirds. It's finished Sheffield Wednesday 4, Cardiff City 0.
Rob and Jason, thank you both very much indeed. So yes, just 2 Welsh sides then into the hat for round 4 so far. Swansea joining Newport, who had to settle for a replay with Eastleigh earlier on, a 1-1 draw with the National League team at Rodney Parade. There could be 3 though if Wrexham can beat Shrewsbury tomorrow, and the draw takes place around 10-8 on Monday night before the Wigan-Manchester United game. It has finished at Stamford Bridge at Chelsea, beating Preston by 4-0. They're through comfortably. Aston Villa of the Premier League are winning 1-0 away to Middlesbrough. Here, the Morecambe and Swansea players have just about left the pitch. Andy Robinson, final word before we hand over to Bethan Alvin. Luke Williams getting a win then in his first game in charge, but by this time next week, when they go to Birmingham in the Championship, you're hoping to get a good week on the training ground and to get them playing better than they did tonight.
Yeah, I think that the big positive is they've got over the line against the Morecambe team, who do concede a lot of goals, and the first half performance was certainly not good enough, and he would have learned a lot about his so-called fringe players in terms of what he's seen in the first 45 minutes. Second half he got a little bit better. Patino and young Parker come into the game, the 15 minutes of the game, and actually won the game in that period. And I suppose Jerry Yates then getting his goal are probably a couple of positives out of a really poor performance from Swansea against a second division team who are struggling. But again, it's his first game. He's got to win under the belt. It's something to look forward to going into the Birmingham game.
Andy Robinson, thank you very much indeed. So there we have it. Maidstone's win over League One Stevenage remains the big shock of third round weekend. Match of the day tonight, 10:30 on BBC One Wales. All the goals, drama and reaction from round 3 so far. Cardiff are out then, Swansea and Newport in the hat for round 4. Can Wrexham join them? Find out tomorrow on the BBC Sport website from 2. That is it from us though. It is lift-off for Luke as Williams makes a winning start as Swansea City manager. Thanks very much for your company. Bethan Elvin next up on Radio Wales.